joining us to discuss this and so much. She's got a new book out, Don't Lie to Me and Stop Trying to Steal Our Freedom. My good friend, Judge Jeanine Pirro. And I cannot not call her judge, even though she's told me to not do that. So it's going to come out just like even. I was raised Southern Missouri, so it's just going to come out. It's so good to have you and good to talk to you today.
I'm delighted to talk to you because, as you know, I'm a big fan of yours as well. So it's great. It's great being able to talk to you now. But I got to tell you, it'll be interesting to see those debates. I mean, it's interesting that China isn't a part of them, but who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? What I'm more interested in is what's happening on Saturday when the president nominates his candidate for the Supreme Court. And, of course, Saturday night I have my show, so it's going to be a packed show, I'm sure.
Oh, yes. Your show Saturday night is a must-watch because you're going to be going over who those candidates are. Do you have like do you have someone that you kind of prefer from the front runners that we've sort of, the names of the front runners that we've kind of been given from that big list? Do you have a preference?
Yeah, well, actually, I do, and you know, I think I'd be thrilled with any of those front runners. I mean, with Allison Rushing, I mean, you're guaranteed 40 years on the Supreme Court, and Barbara, I think it's Logio. I mean, she has an incredible background and story. My favorite is ACB Amy Coney Barrett because of how she went back at Senator Feinstein in the nomination for Second Circuit Court of Appeals, and Feinstein said your religious dogma lives loudly within you. And she went right back at her, Dana, and she said, all of our dogmas live within us, religious and otherwise, but my job is to keep it separate from my court decisions. And judges do that every day, and I was a judge. And in fact, one of the things that I didn't like about being a judge was, when I had to suppress kilos of cocaine, because of, a mistake on the part of, a police officer. And so, I had a long-term on the bench, but I left early to run for DA because I recognized I was more of an activist, and I followed the law and I followed precedent and I understood my role, but that wasn't my temperament. So I think as long as we have a strict constructionist and, someone who recognizes that it's not the place to legislate new laws and not the place to be an activist, then I'm all for her, whomever she may be.
I love your transparency on that because you would never hear someone on the left say, I realized that I had a strength in this area as well, or I was more of an activist and it was very difficult because I can't even imagine having to omit certain things because of technicalities. And I realize that can weigh heavily on the mind. This process, we're kind of getting a little bit of a timeline from Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell as well as Chair of Judiciary Lindsey Graham. They're saying, it looks like this is all going to kick off in October. And of course, we're talking with Judge Jeanine Pirro. We're hearing from Democrats, this is uncharacteristically fast. This is unprecedented. But it's not. It should kind of be speedy like this when they make a decision.
Well, that's why I wrote the book, Don't Lie to Me. I'm sick of them lying to us. And the lies just keep coming from the Russia collusion, delusion to Ukraine to, you shouldn't do this in an election year. Look, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and I had tremendous respect for her. I've said before, she was of great consequence in life, but she will be of even greater consequence in death as we watch these hearings unfold. The bottom line is, even she says the president never ceases to be president during the 4 years of his presidency. She said that, the court is good at 9. We don't need to pack it. Look, all the left is trying to do is they're trying to get someone to approve even more leftist activist legislative positions, making third-term abortions regular, legal, and, legislating from the bench. We don't need a fourth branch of government on the judiciary. That's not what was intended. And look, the average time, I believe, is like 50 or 60 days. The president has an obligation, Article 2, Section 2, Senate advises and consents, and they either agree or they don't. We can lose 4. We're losing Collins and Murkowski. Mitt Romney may be in, and I think Cory Gardner's in. And let's just do it. Get it done. We need a full complement. This is an election year. It's going to be a nightmare. The votes are going to be counted after the election. This is sick. The whole thing is sick. It's all about Nancy Pelosi threatening us from the left. and they're doing it with the protests, saying they're peaceful when they're burning down buildings and they're attacking people. And if you lived in New York City, you know what it's like. It's a nightmare.
Yes.
And I'm tired of it. And Americans need to be.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. I well said. Judge Jeanine Pirro, new book, Don't Lie to Me and Stop Trying to Steal Our Freedom, is out now. And Judge, you followed very closely, obviously, the Russian witch hunt, the attempts from Democrats, Marxists, to undermine the free and fair election. That was 2016. And so when you see these same party members lecturing someone like Senator Lindsey Graham, they're telling him, well, you told us that you would not work to confirm a Republican pick for SCOTUS if it happens during an election year. And this was even before what they did with Kavanaugh, and really before we knew everything that they did as it relates to Mueller and that witch hunt. I liked Graham's answer. I don't think that we owe them anything and they have no moral high ground. Your thoughts on their posturing here?
Well, you know what? You are so right. And I'll give you one better. I don't care what they say. We've got the Senate. We've got the White House. Just do it. You know what? To me, they're nothing more than background noise. They're nothing more than anarchists, people who are gluttons. I mean, they want all of the power. They'll take it any way they can get it. Nancy has more arrows in her quiver. AOC, you're fighting with fire. What are you, threatening us? Enough of this nonsense. This is the United States of America, land of the free, home of the brave. Take your threats and do whatever you want with them, but don't threaten us. Don't try to lock us in our homes, open the borders, defund the police, and take away our guns on top of it. No, I'm not having any of it. And as far as I'm concerned, you're all background noise. I don't need to explain anything. And the president is not bound by anything any senator said 4 years ago. End of it.
Perfect. I love that. I love that. I'm excited to read this book, Don't Lie to Me and Stop Trying to Steal Our Freedom, the new book from Judge Jeanine Pirro. And you need to watch her show on Saturday, particularly because it's going to be right after the president announces who his selection for SCOTUS is going to be. And I mean, this is.
Who do you like?
I like, I was going back and forth because I kept saying, does it have to be a woman? But at the same time, I sort of like that at a time when Democrats are trying to appeal to suburban women and Joe Biden's trying to ingratiate himself with Catholics again. And so the idea of having an Amy Coney Barrett up there, I mean, it's like watching a baby play with a shape sorter, try to figure out how they're going to go. They can't accuse her of rape like they did Kavanaugh. So I kind of like that hurdle for them. And she has qualifications.
Well, yeah, and they all do. And you know what I like? I like the religious piece. They've been tearing down religion, and they've been saying, you can go to get marijuana, you can gamble, you can go to a casino, you can go to a liquor store during the pandemic. Don't you dare go to church.
Yeah.
Don't you dare go to synagogue. No. Okay, I've had enough of that. The First Amendment, they don't have the right to say that we can practice one kind of religion or not another. They are not to be involved in that. When the Supreme Court came down with that decision in Nevada saying the casinos can open and the movie theaters can open, but you churches, no more than 50 at a time, wow.
Yes.
It's time to talk about religion and to dig in deep, because this is a nation founded on the Judeo-Christian ethics. And it's time for us to recognize that religion does play a part. Our president did say, you'll say Merry Christmas again. I feel strongly about that. I'm not a religious fanatic. I'm not. But don't tell me that religion is going to suffer because you don't like Christianity. I'm not going to deal with that anymore. And I don't think we should. So let's have it. Let's have at it.
Amen to that. Judge Jeanine Pirro, watch her show Saturday and get her new book, Don't Lie to Me and Stop Trying to Steal Our Freedom. It is available now. And always so good to talk with you, my friend. When I'm not quarantined from flying to Texas to New York, I'd love to see you again. Always good to have you on, and we'll talk again soon.
My pleasure. Let me know. I'm waiting.
I will.
You
know I will.
Much, Dana.
Of course. You too.
All right. Look forward to it.
All right. Talk to you again soon, Judge. Judge Jeanine Pirro, her new book, and you can follow her on Twitter at Judge Jeanine.